I can't hearken back to all of that, but you and I have had that conversation a bunch. Nah, I'm on the side of the people, not the landlords. Sorry that
landlords are people.
I'm on the side of the mass.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. So landlords in LA are being accused of price gouging, but some say they're just keeping up with the demand for desperate, deep-pocketed people who are making over-the-top offers in order to secure a new place to live. With wildfires having destroyed an estimate 12,000 structures across LA, many who have lost their homes and apartments are scrambling to find places to rent. With the available supply woefully low, online real estate listings reviewed by MarketWatch appear to show that some landlords have jacked up rents as demand has skyrocketed. The LA Tenants Union has released a series of demands for the city to address the disaster by implementing a rent freeze and eviction moratorium.
I was, selling them through Amazon. I felt terrible about it. No, I'm just kidding. Oh shit, you had me fucked up. Yeah, word. Yo, that second shipment, man, I was like, no, but I hate to see exploitation, and in moments of crisis, we should be dropping prices, not raising them. That's all. I hate it. I hate every bit of it.
What are the prices?
Sounds good in theory, man.
The prices of Airbnbs and rental spots, it's astronomical. Like they not doubled, like they went up by like 200-300%.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
I thought Airbnb was giving them out for free.
Ish, what do you think on the landlord side?
I think from a humanistic standpoint, you gotta realize that people are in a crisis and mad people.
That's why I asked about the landlord side.
I know we talking about the upper part, like the Palisade part. Those people okay, but the lower part is where I hear that the people are gonna be in need and are in need allegedly. I forgot the name of the
Altadena.
Yeah.
And also, it's a misnomer that everybody in the Palisades was wealthy. There was people who inherited homes. There was apartment buildings in the Palisades. There's people who were, lower to low mid income, living paycheck to paycheck. People, citizens living in the Palisades. Like, it really is not just like celebrities in the Palisades in Malibu. It's not. It's businesses. It's regular working people that were affected by this. So the price gouging, first of all, isn't it illegal to do that when a national disaster has been declared? I feel like it's illegal to do that.
I know there were new laws that were imposed during COVID about commerce. I don't know about like rental properties and things like that. That may be carved out. I don't know enough about that to say, but it shouldn't be. I don't want, even if you're rich, I don't want you exploited. I don't want anybody exploited. And we live in this world now where you can do, like I went to try to get some tickets for the Apollo to watch the Luther thing. I went to see it live at the Apollo. And the tickets with
book research.
Yeah, actually. And it was $30. The ticket was $30 and I just forgot to hit the button. I didn't want to tell my wife that I forgot to hit the button to get the tickets. So I was like, I'll buy him secondary market. $650. Just on principle, I was like, fuck y'all, I'm not going to do that. But it's like now we live in a place where people, if they feel like they can get you, they will. That can't be how we operate to each other. We got to be better to each other than that, man.
All that shit sound good, man.
Capitalism.
The real world we live in is supply and demand, dog.
As a landlord.
And that's capitalism. That's why capitalism is fucked up.
Yeah. You never answered.
Crisis is where niggas make a lot of money. Niggas pray for crises.
You start talking about the humanistic shit.
Oh yeah, you ain't get the other side to that.
As a landlord, like real spill.
Would you do it?
I'm not sure. Maybe not. It depends on the circumstances.
Wow.
I'm a landlord and I wouldn't.
I'm a swerve in that road. I respect that. I'm a former landlord.
You ran off with cake money.
not just that.
You're such a hater.
Not just that. Everybody. What dictates market rent?
I'm willing to be flexible in determining that, but there are numbers that we would all agree are unconscionable. That's all I'm saying. So, for example, if the average rent in the place you rent places is, what's the average rent you charge, if you don't mind saying? Let me not do that.
It depends on the area.
Let's say the average rent is $2,000 where you rent, and there's mass flooding and fires in the area, and you start charging people $10,000. I think that's fucked up.
There are some people that think 2,000 is fucked up.
Maybe. And I said, I'm willing to debate that number, but there's a number that we probably all agree I'm only doing this because people are desperate and have no choice. And when you're doing something because people are desperate and have no choice, that's where it's fucked up to me. When you
Bro, then what's the difference? Well, I guess because it's the crisis part, but rarity, like, you know what I'm saying? A pair of fucking Travis Scott sneakers that's selling for 30 times, 40 times the price of this
That's not
shoe.
a necessity.
because people don't need it. People aren't desperate for that.
No. I'm giving.
God.
I'm saying that when
it's
shit
funny.
is
Hold
rare,
on.
when shit is
I want
rare,
your take.
people run the price
I
up.
want your take. Tell me your take.
I agree, Mark.
But you ain't agree when COVID was going on and landlords wasn't getting paid and they was in financial jeopardy and at risk of losing their houses, and the government was giving people extra money. And we sat in here and had a conversation how people were doing better actually during COVID and getting extra money, and the government said they didn't have to pay their rent, and you said fuck them landlords.
I can't hearken back to all of that, but you and I have had that conversation a bunch. Nah, I'm on the side of the people, not the landlords. Sorry that
Landlords are people.
I'm on the side of the
people, like the mass
people.
So you're not on the side of unfairness. You're on the side of, because again, the scenario during COVID, a lot of people were getting unemployment plus an additional $600 a week. A lot of those people were making more money than when they actually worked.
Right, and they should pay the rent.
And then the government said you don't have to pay your rent. So niggas was going out buying new cars and all this other shit, and landlords were literally losing their houses.
Yeah, and that's
I had
fucked up.
6 houses in pre-foreclosure during COVID. 6 I had, personally. And could have potentially lost my houses. So fuck the landlords, because they are supposedly the rich people, the big empire. Everybody that's a landlord, most landlords, Ice's grandparents are landlords. They mom and pop. And those people use that money to survive off of. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody not fucking Donald Trump or the what's homeboy's name from
Joe
Jersey?
Budden.
You get what I'm saying? So a lot of the Kushners and like everybody is not those. Some of these people are the same exact people that just got burnt out in Palisade that are living check to check. A lot of those landlords are living check to check.
Yeah, so
that's why I'm saying it's a circumstantial thing. It's just not one.
Yeah, but that's an argument for making sure that middle and working class landlords are protected. That's not an argument for landlords exploiting people, the masses who are vulnerable.
You missing my point. And my question was to Joe. The landlords got exploited in that particular situation.
And we got to fix that. I'm agreeing with you.
And so that's why I wanted to hear his take on that particular situation, because a lot of landlords lost their houses.
That's true, but
Lost
I
their
just
way
think-
to
I thought the
provide for
government
I
was
just
going to
think
pay the
they were-
landlords.
Government ain't pay nobody shit.
Okay, then I'm with.
I got that. They pay me. I got that PPP money.
That's not.
No,
That wasn't to landlords.
No,
That wasn't to landlords.
No,
So how
that's
was
my
the
point.
government-
I'm saying they should have given landlords the same protections they
Yeah,
gave
so
other
the
small businesses.
the government only were protecting the people in need. They didn't protect the landlords. There was nothing out there any programs that protected
It
you.
depended on how you owned your homes. So some people, like if you owned your home in a personal name, there was some shit that you could have done to not be in foreclosure. But even a lot of those banks took the money that you missed out on and just put it on the back of the loan. They didn't necessarily compensate you for any of the things that you lost.
Right.
So I just think that we pick and choose.
I hate your COVID example, because like I told you back then, the owner has things that he has to pay and that he is responsible for, whether there's a renter there or not. You own the property. It is yours.
You're wrong.
How so?
That's like saying I pay a mortgage, right? But I'm providing a service. So
You just added something to what I'm saying.
Quick question. You got a house, and everybody in that house moves out, and you have trouble renting that house for 3 months.
You have to pay
You
it.
still got to pay the mortgage, right? Whether it's empty. So what he's saying is, whether it's empty or not,
That's your
mortgage
asset.
is still on you.
You have to
Is
take
that not
care of
accurate?
it.
Yes or no?
yes and no. So when somebody's living in your house and you paying some of the utilities and all of those other things, even when the house is vacant, I have the ability to rent it again. When somebody's living in my house not paying rent and I can't get them out, you are taking my option to rent that house
That's
away.
why I asked you the question of you were having a trouble of renting it for 3 months.
Yeah,
gave
but I
you an
still
example.
have the option to rent it.
But you did not.
Yeah.
This is January. You don't get the house rented till April.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying is when it's empty, as a business owner, I'm taking a risk that I may not be able to rent it out, right? But
I think you take that same risk when you rent it.
Right, but his point is when the government creates a situation where I can't get rid of the person.
When the government steps in and said, I can't kick you out, and you have to live here for the next 2 years, you are taking my option to rent the house out away from you.
Now it's not a gamble. Now it's an impossibility.
It's not apples and apples.
And my heart goes out to the people that lost everything that they had. Their businesses were unable to pay rent before it goes to the landlord that was going to have to pay this either way. Sorry that you had your fucking arms cut off.
So if that's the case, if somebody don't come sit down and eat in your restaurant, you still got to pay your bills, right?
Correct. 1000%.
If somebody don't come eat your spaghetti, you still got to pay the rent to the landlord, right?
Yes.
Yep. So what's the difference? We look at landlords like they not business owners. You are running a business. If you run one home and you got a 3-family household and you have 3 tenants, you are providing a service the same way somebody's providing food to a customer. It's no different. I'm providing safe and adequate housing to you. I deserve to be compensated for that. The same way if I own a sneaker store and somebody runs out the door with my fucking sneakers in their hand, it's the same thing.
I don't think that the renters should have been put out in the street and been without shelter.
I don't think that either. And I don't think the landlords should have had a government moratorium that says that they don't have to get their money. And again, when the government was subsidized...
But I think that's a landlord beef to the government.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
That's a
there
should be a
beef to the
mechanism.
government.
I agree with that.
Not to the people.
You're wrong. When the government is paying people extra money...
See, that's pocket watching.
But
You said the government's incentivizing people not to pay the rent.
No.
Yes, that's what he said.
The government told people they didn't have to pay their rent.
Yeah, and giving them money.
And I gave you more bread.
There's a reason. They didn't just wake up and decide that. There were reasons why they did that, and I think those reasons are paramount to whatever the landlord.
And I think you're the blind spot, right? So
Hear what I'm saying. So you just forget the reasons that the government is paying people extra money for a reason.
yes.
Okay,
So these people are not desolate. Some of them.
that's not true.
The government is paying you extra money because you can't go to work.
because you can't work.
Which is what you were going
That's
to
what I'm
work
saying.
to pay your bills.
Exactly.
And to live.
So now if I'm getting more money, why the fuck are you not paying your bills?
We're supplementing that because you can't go to work.
So that's what I'm saying. You're the
Joe, if we didn't have to come to work and the government told you still got to pay us, but we didn't have to pod, you will feel away.
Say it again.
I don't have to. You heard me.
No, say it again.
If the government told you had to pay us and we didn't have to come to work and we didn't have to pod for the next 2 years and you still had to pay all of our salaries, you would feel away.
How does that correlate to what we're talking about?
Because I'm telling you, the service being provided by the landlord is safe and adequate housing. And you are saying that you have to have these people live in your house for free, which is you paying them for free and they don't have to provide nothing. Back to you.
I don't think the podcast example is that.
But also, I think we got to take a step back. That's why I'm saying you're the blind spot, meaning that the law was created so that big businesses, big landlords, big corporations, big property companies aren't taking mass amounts of people and putting them on the street when they can't afford it.
But it affected everybody.
And that's why I'm saying the problem with the law is that people like Ish get hurt too. So I'm saying the fix isn't to stop the moratorium on evictions. I think we need the moratorium on evictions, but to create a mechanism so that Ish still gets his money. And I'm saying we could do both. But
Ish getting his money comes secondary
That's what I'm saying.
the masses being properly sheltered.
I think.
And it don't say that because the government said to give niggas some money, that those people now have to take what their only income is and hand it to a landlord. You talking about people with kids? You talking about people
That's what they was doing anyway when they was going to fucking work. They were taking their income, paying their bills. So if the government is subsidizing your income and giving you potentially more than what you were making when you were going to work, you should still be responsible for paying your bills.
You just ignored what I said.
No, I didn't.
Okay, then you didn't reply to what I said. That money the government was given so people could live.
That's
not pay. Not pay rent. Not pay rent. You equating the two.
What do you go? So the money you get from going to work is for what? The money you get from going to work
shopping,
is for what?
food, family.
I get what you're saying,
but your salary from going to work is to do what?
But here's the issue: the money the government gives you isn't a salary, so that's the difference.
They're replacing your salary because you can't go to work.
No, but listen what I'm saying. That is true. If the money, if I make $600 a month and the government gives me $600 a month, then Ish is 100% right.
They were giving them $900.
They were giving you So now
if I make $900 a month,
so they give me $1,200 now.
If you making $1,000 a month,
right?
The government was giving them $1,600 a month.
I'm with you, right?
So if you could pay your bills on $1,000, how the fuck do you not pay your bills on $1,600?
And I'm agreeing with you at that point. But I'm saying for a large number of people, the amount that they were getting in income was less than what the government was
wrong.
That is not
That's
you
not
are
wrong.
wrong. I'm not wrong. You tell me.
not wrong.
Are you telling me
He is wrong.
Hold on. Ish, are you,
He is wrong.
Hold on, Ish, are you telling me that everybody in the country that got a government subsidy got $600 more than their income?
Mark, number one.
No, I'm asking this a direct question.
I'm gonna answer them. Mark, number one, you have to know the median income of the people in the country. That's number one. So a lot of people in the United States of America, if you do 600 times 52 weeks, they are bringing home more money than they brought home from their fucking jobs. Dog, this is what I do.
Yeah, I don't. You have to fact check. I don't believe that. That's not my understanding.
You're wrong.
What am I wrong about? I'm
about to tell
what am I saying that's wrong?
The government was giving people an additional $600 a week
on top of
their weekly income,
on top of their unemployment money.
But unemployment isn't your full check.
You asking me a question. You're asking me a question. Please let me speak. So if you do the median income in the United States, of course there's going to be outliers. Do the average, because y'all want to talk about the masses so fucking much. So we're going to stay on the masses.
But your whole premise is based off the outlier.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
The outlier is the person that during the pandemic took the fucking bus down or whatever they was giving, and now they was up and they was balling and they was doing better than ever. I think that's the outlier.
Median income in the United States is $37,585.
Thank you. So if you get $600 a week from the government for 52 weeks, you are doing better than you was when you fucking worked. Yo, why do y'all act like y'all don't understand what I'm saying? This is math.
600 times 52 weeks is $31,200.
No,
and that's the additional no tax on top of the unemployment you were getting. The average person made more money.
Unemployment isn't your income. Unemployment is half.
Now y'all being willfully obtuse.
No, I'm not.
The boy just read it in math numbers.
Hold on, just listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. You're saying that you get the unemployment and now you get this extra $6. I hear you. I'm not being obtuse. I understand. The income you're saying they're getting is unemployment.
Yes.
Unemployment is not your full income. Unemployment, is that not true? Is that accurate?
Correct. Can I reply?
Let me ask a question. What percentage of one's income?
I know that.
What percentage of your income is unemployment?
I don't know.
Half.
So if you don't know,
it's
not half.
It's a little bit more than half. But
it's more than half.
Let me just ask you a question.
So what I'm saying is, if I'm getting unemployment plus $600, that I'm not getting $600 more than my normal income.
Cool. Can I ask you a question?
That's basic math. Is that not true?
No, you are fucking. Yo, bro.
Don't just keep screaming I'm wrong. Tell me what I'm trying to talk to you.
I'm trying to talk to you.
He broke it down in math.
Median income. We do it because we're talking to masses. I just said the median income in the United States is $37,585.
That's the median income.
That's the median.
Okay.
The additional 600 alone equals
more money than you are
31,000
bringing home from your job.
That's the additional. It's 31,200, no tax. If you, so you're talking
now
about
that's before you get unemployment added on to that money.
It's going to be more.
You have to write it down. I'm not following.
You serious?
Yes.
All right, wait. No, I'm
telling you, I'm not following what you're saying.
37,000 is what you made at work, which means your take-home pay is about 25K. Cool.
Right. There's several things you said that I don't agree. I don't accept the premise. Is what I'm saying. I'm rejecting the premise. But go ahead.
37. Which premise are you rejecting?
37. You don't rock with?
I'll tell you why I reject the premise. Continue.
We talking masses. So we did medium for the entire country.
$37,000.
That is that you can Google
ICE's
that
number. He looked it up on the phone. I'm not making it up. So from before you even get an unemployment check, the government is giving you 31K. So let's say you got 60% of your 37,000 plus the 31K. You are making more money than you made when you are physically going to work. You are getting 60% or 70%, whatever unemployment is, of the 37K plus an additional $31,000. You are thereby making more money than when you are physically getting up at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning to go to work. You are making more money now to sit at home.
That is a fact.
One. And then they say you don't have to pay your rent, which is people's biggest expenditure that they have. So now you are up because you're getting more money than you was making at work, and your biggest bill that you have to shell out for, you don't have to pay it legally. You're doing, if they told us all in here, we don't have to pay our rent tomorrow, everybody's fucking up. Now let's say parks, whatever you make, you got an additional $2,500 a month, plus you ain't have to pay rent. What are we missing?
Okay, so go ahead. Keep going. I'm listening.
It's just math.
I'm pulling it up.
It ain't emotional. It's math.
You're referring to the economic impact payments, right?
Yes, that was the EIPs.
Okay.
The 600 additional, which was on again, and there's no tax out of none of that.
Was it 600 liquid or I thought it was 600 in food or something?
No, $600
cash.
check per week in your account.
Additional 600 cash.
So that's $2,200 a month.
That they said you had to pay back?
No, you ain't have to pay that back.
Now I know that the supermarkets and food became higher at the time as well. Like food was higher, stuff in the supermarket was higher. So I don't know. I just remember that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You made more money and paid out less.
I get what you're saying.
That's all it was. That's it.
I got you.
I don't want to get in the weeds of this, but again, what are you laughing at? What, am I missing something?
No, yo, fam, it's okay for just to be like, yo, that makes sense. Like,
yeah, but I never said what you said didn't make sense. Remember, I began from the place of there's a blind spot, and I think the blind spot is people like you don't get paid. That was never my issue.
And most landlords, contrary to popular belief, are mom and pop landlords. Most landlords are not these big gazillionaire.
Right, but the problem is not that. The problem is who gets evicted, and the idea was to have a mass stoppage of it. Right. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not disputing the point you're making about this. I don't accept the median as a measure because the people who are catching the most hell aren't at the median; they're below the median. So that's why I was saying I hear you. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying.
That was my problem with his premise.
That makes my
whatever
point.
number he started at, them niggas ain't want to pay. Was struggling to pay his rent in the first place.
That makes my point even more valid.
I don't think so.
Listen to this.
Well, let me finish. I heard you out.
I'm also not sure that a higher percentage of people didn't.
If
pay
you
the
were
rent.
below the median, that means you're doing way better than you were doing before. Because if the median is 37 and the government is giving you 31 off the rip,
I don't think that's the landlord's place to say in a time of a fucking crisis.
It's not.
I don't think it's time for you to sit home as a
Why
landlord
would the
and pull
government
out
give
your
you 30? I'm not
calculator when it's a crisis
giving
going
everybody
on.
$600.
Niggas crazy.
It's a crisis for everybody,
see.
Joe. And again, the landlords are people. What are you talking about? Most homeowners in the country are people too. What the fuck is you talking about?
Again.
So everybody's going through a crisis. And again, if the government subsidized one person crisis and turned a blind eye to the other motherfuckers, that's not fair. The other people that they gave subsidies to are doing better than they were doing when they was at work. That's the point I'm making.
Landlords didn't receive any givebacks, perks, or anything during that time.
They could
crisis.
have.
That's my question to you. That's my question to you as a landlord.
Man, bro.
That's my question to you.
Yo, we fucking the pot up, bro. Let's just move along.
I don't think so. I would like an answer to my question.
No, not really. To answer your question. So what they did, they got their debt not forgiven. Like if you are in a foreclosure status, so let's say you owe $50,000, penalties, fees, all of this shit, and back mortgages, right? So it's not just the mortgage that let's say your mortgage is two grand a month. So it's $24,000 a year. By the time you get to $24,000 a year and they add on penalties, interest, and all that other shit, you could legitimately be at $45K that you owe out with attorney fees, et cetera, et cetera. So what they did was take that $50,000 and threw it on the back of your mortgage. So you still had to pay it. You just weren't in arrears no more with regards to foreclosure threat.
That's what happened. Not you had to pay back the fucking loans they gave out, but that rent had to be paid back.
You're wrong.
All right.
What you're saying had to be paid.
What?
The mortgages had to be paid.
Some had to be paid
landlords
back.
had to
Don't
pay
make
the
me call my accountant.
Yeah,
At the end of the year, all of this shit
landlords
got
had
to
to
be
pay
paid.
their mortgage money back. Yeah.
Yeah, the rent didn't have to.
That's what I'm telling you. I know I'm not talking out